Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike, and I thought we were the People's Front.
Yeah, fuck them. Splitters. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of that tonight.
Whatever happened to the Popular Front?
Yeah. So if you haven't guessed, by clicking on this link, we are reviewing Monty Python's The Life of Brian to conclude our month of Monty Python. Or not a month. It's more like a half month with a podcast thrown in.
Our 2 weeks of Monty Python.
Yes, exactly. It's what they would have wanted. It's 3 weeks. Two weeks of... So today we are talking about the ever controversial Life of Brian. And by ever controversial, I mean like when it was released.
Yeah.
It was not allowed to be released in several countries.
Yeah, and several cities, most likely in the South.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, obviously from people who hadn't seen the movie and didn't realize it wasn't poking fun at Jesus directly.
No, Jesus is one of the few characters it treats with pretty respect.
Yes, and do you know who plays Jesus in this movie, Mike?
The same guy that played Admiral Piet.
Yes.
I believe. I don't know his name.
Yes. All right, as we start every movie review, when was the first time you saw The Life of Brian?
I actually bought it on VHS, sight unseen, because I loved Holy Grail so much. And so I brought it home and popped it in one day. I was all alone, watched it. I was like, oh, okay, there's nudity in this movie.
Yeah, there is.
But I still laughed my ass off.
I got an absolute shit copy of this movie. I think from a friend of mine, my friend Gus.
Not a great friend then.
No, he was a very good friend. But he loaned me a transfer of the movie. Like, I don't know, he might have recorded it off of another video cassette or off cable or whatever. And it was just, there was a lot of like the tape wasn't a great quality.
Gotcha.
But oh my God, I really loved it. Not as much as Holy Grail. I still think Holy Grail is like their apex movie. But this one is I don't want to say it's a close second because it really, in my comparison, isn't even close, but it is a very good movie.
I do hold it as a close second. For me, it is a better movie, but the Holy Grail is a better Monty Python movie.
I agree. There was a lot about this movie that threw me. It'd been a couple of years since I watched it, and then Autumn and I watched it over the weekend. And anytime anybody falls backwards or falls forwards, there is this very distinct cut in the film. And I don't know why. I don't know why they just didn't use another camera angle to hide that, which is usually what you do if you can't fall backwards. Because I know that was probably with like Terry Jones in that first scene when the three wise men come and he just flips backwards. It's like he turns, cut, flip.
I don't know. I think honestly, every time I watch it, it kind of feels like that's a stylistic, artistic choice.
Yeah, but not a good one though.
It's never bothered me.
Yeah, it was watching that scene again though, because again, it'd been a little while since I've seen the movie. It was very interesting because Autumn's like, okay, which one of them is wearing blackface? Oh, it's John Cleese.
Well, I mean,
he had to be the Black King, and
well, I mean, usually the person wearing blackface is Terry Jones,
right?
And he was playing
Mother,
yeah. So,
yes, that is actually a great introduction to the movie, though. That you know, the three wise men come and they bring gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. What's that? It's a bomb. A bomb.
Mike, bite him.
Yeah, and then it just turns out that Brian was born like next door to Jesus.
Yep.
Which is fantastic stuff. The opening theme to this movie is great. It is available on the Monty Python Sings collection. And I actually saw this performed Monty Python live, and they had like three women,
really?
three backup singers, all women, and each one would get a verse, and then the other one would run up and push the other one out to sing the next verse. So essentially, it was just this constant one-upsmanship.
Makes sense for this movie, actually.
Yeah, it does. It does. And the lyrics of that song are hilarious.
And his face became spotty.
You go out and get pissed and have one off at the wrist.
It's just the life of it is literally the song is the life of Brian.
It is the life of Brian. Yeah, there are certain things I really love about this. I think Graham Chapman always made the best leading man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in both of these movies, he is the lead of the movies. And he does a very good job of being very, very earnest. And you can't not love Brian because he is so innocent and he just wants something better in this world. And his mother's terrible.
Yeah. Now, was this before or after he quit drinking? Graham Chapman quit drinking.
I think it might have been after he quit drinking.
I think the Holy Grail was kind of the point where you got to stop
him. Yeah. But he's so good in this, and there's just so many great little, why he always has questions about things. Is my house too big, Mom? Oh, there you go again. Always thinking about sex.
And of course
why aren't we allowed to go to stonings, Mom? It's written. That's why.
Romans go home. That's not what it says.
That very well may be one of my favorite scenes in this entire movie. As somebody who has struggled to learn foreign languages, it astounds me the amount of conjugation and genderism you have to put. That I definitely felt Brian's pain with the Romanis
Deus Exeunt.
Exeunt. What does that say? Romans go home. No, it doesn't. Romani.
People call Romanis. They go the house.
Oh, it's great. And the fact that he's punished, he has to write it 100 times.
And then they finally realize, oh, wait, this is insult.
Exactly. Finished. That's a fun scene.
Oh, the stoning scene is...
Oh, my God. The stoning is hilarious because, again, it's written that women can't attend stoning. So there are a bunch of women wearing beards.
Yeah. and the guy being stoned... I just thought it was a very nice episode. I said this piece of haddock was good enough for Jehovah.
You know that old man is the same old man who didn't want to go on the cart in the Holy Grail?
Yep.
He was also the very famous historian.
Yes, I did read that, yes.
Yeah. I don't want to go on the cart.
I'm making it worse for myself. How can I make it worse for myself? Jehovah.
And then he shows up as like the doorkeeper for the for the PFJ.
You haven't given us time to hide yet.
My eyes are grizzled. Yes. He is a lot of fun. The stuff with the PFJ, the People's Front of Judea, is hilarious because nothing gets done because it's all done by committee.
Yeah, it's again, it was just the Pythons poking fun of all these, political groups that really don't do anything at all.
Right, exactly. They talk a good game, but at the end of the day, they still have to deliberate everything.
Yeah. And
that scene where when you first see them in their hideout.
Oh yeah.
And he's just, what have the Romans ever done for us? The aqueduct? What? The aqueduct. Oh, yeah, the aqueduct. And they just list off 15 things. Nation roads, the aqueduct, wine, public safety.
I love what finally kind of cuts it off for Redras. From peace. Shut up.
I also love too when they're in the Coliseum. The
Oh
whole
yeah.
thing about, men or women. Shut up about women, Stan. Red. No, Stan. I want to be
Stan.
one. I want to have babies. From now on, I want you all to call me.
From now on, I want you Loretta.
Loretta.
The forefront of what? Oh, I think we just lost Andy. Yeah, Monty Python was at the forefront of the gender gender neutral phase, and there he is.
There I am. It wouldn't
Welcome
be.
back.
Oh yeah, that'll go away in a second. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. It wouldn't be a StreamYard presentation if I didn't duck out at least once.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes. You have a womb. What's the fetus gonna do? What's it gonna gestate? You're gonna keep it in a box?
Let's just agree that we can't fight for his right to be a woman because he can't be a woman not having a womb. But we can fight
and
for
that's
his
no
right.
fault of anyone, not even the Romans.
But we can fight for his right to be a woman. Or no, it's fight for.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
but I love how you're introduced in that scene. First of all, the Coliseum scene's got a couple of really great gags in there.
Yeah.
They first of all they have them cleaning up.
Oh yeah.
Arms, and the guy can't get the ring off, so he just hides the entire arm in his robe. And then they send that guy out to fight the gladiator, and he just runs around the Coliseum until the guy drops dead of a heart attack.
Because he's got no
cardiac arrest.
Because he's gotten all the heavy armor on.
Yeah.
And then of course
Brian is selling concessions, and they're just like those imperial tidbits, like wolf nipple chips. Get them out, they're lovely. Otters' noses, jaguars' earlobes,
ocelots'
spleens.
Get them on the hot, they're lovely.
Oh, it's just some funny stuff. I think the standout performance in this movie though is Michael Palin as Pilot.
No.
Oh my God.
I've got a very great friend in Rome called Biggest Dickus.
That Biggest Dickus scene gets me every time.
When he's just kind of when he's at the guard's ear, and he's just tempting him. He's like,
"Yeah,
does anyone want to have a wiggle at my friend Biggest Dickus?"
And that one guy's just like. There's another thing in that too that we noticed. Every time John Cleese slaps Brian, it's just like this. It's like when my cat tries to swat something. Just, I remember. What's that?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that one time watching this, it was the first time I'd introduced it to our friend Jim, and his favorite scene comes right after Brian escapes Pilot, and he runs up to the top of the tower, falls off, and there's a spaceship that comes and picks him up because it is the stupidest, most random thing. And it goes on for like a good solid 2 minutes, and it looks like that's where all their special effects budget went.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, Terry Gilliam was just doing the the visual aspect. He's a choreographer, cinematographer, basically.
Yeah.
But they wanted to give him something to do for animation, so they threw it in there.
God,
I just love it.
It's like I love it that he gets picked up. He flies through the universe, being chased by another spaceship. They crash land in the exact same. You lucky bastard!
And he walks out without a scratch on him.
Right, exactly. Nobody notices the crashed spaceship, and
except for that one guy. Oh, you lucky bastard.
There's that. There's the stuff with Eric Idle. I think out of all the utility players in this movie, Eric Idle just steals every scene that he's in. He's the shopkeeper who forces Brian to haggle.
Yeah. He idol.
He did that. He does the annoying guy who you first see when Jesus is giving his Sermon on the Mount.
Oh yes.
I'm sorry, but he has got a big nose.
Dude, the Sermon on the Mount scene. Blessed are the cheesemakers.
I believe he said, "Blessed are the cheesemakers." Oh, the make. Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's a good thing they get that because they're having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
But
call me Big Nose one more time, and I'll fucking end you.
For me, the one that steals he steals it for one scene only, but Terry Gilliam as the hard of hearing, like prison guard. It's like, I've got loads of it round the back.
Oh yeah. Well, there's that scene too because that's Eric Idle like doing that.
Oh yeah.
Horrible stammer. He's deaf, sir, and he's just doing the mess up. And then after everybody leaves, they're having this very nice conversation.
Oh, yeah.
That scene also gave us Michael Palin crucifixion. Yes. Line on the left and one cross each.
Crucifixion? No, I can go home.
Freedom. And the return of Eric Idle's annoying man.
They said I didn't do anything, so I could go home. Oh.
I go live off an island. Oh, off you go. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Crucifixion. Yeah, line on the left, one cross each. I know. Oh, good Lord. There's just so much in this movie. Michael,
of course.
What's that?
And of course, it ends with the most famous song of all Monty Python.
Yes. I have a very interesting story about always look on the bright side of life. I don't know if you went to a very small high school, so you probably didn't have this, but we had a senior talent show. And essentially you just put together an act and then you and your friends can go do something. And for the longest time, a few of my friends and I, Gus, who loaned me this movie, and our friend Dave and a couple of other people were going to do Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. But we were going to do it with the crosses.
Oh.
Cooler heads prevailed in the end because that would have, A, been awesome, and B, I would have been booted out of that school so fast.
I probably would have been booted out faster.
Yeah, that's true.
I went to a religious high school.
That's right. You went to parochial school. Yeah, but
that entire movie probably wouldn't have gone over very well.
No. Even though, again, it's to always look on the bright side of life, is that it does a great job, not so much making fun of religion, but making fun of the followers of religion.
Yeah.
There's a very key line that John Cleese has. I say you're the Messiah, and I should know. I followed a few.
Oh, dude, we must take off our shoe and hold him up because that's what he did.
Cast off the shoe, follow the gourd, the holy gourd of Jerusalem.
Yeah, the Pythons have come out and point blank said this is not blasphemous at all. It is heretical.
Right.
It's not against Jesus. It's against the idiots that follow, stupid rules that Jesus never taught.
It's one of his fan clubs.
Yeah.
There's just that whole thing about him being chased into the desert.
Hashtag not my Messiah.
Exactly.
The juniper bush.
How, like, in the span of 5 minutes, this group comes from not believing a word he says to wanting to know more, to splitting off into two sects, the gourd and the shoe, and at the end of it, end up killing somebody for being a heretic.
Yeah.
In the span of 5 minutes.
Yes, we're all individuals. I'm not.
All right. Have you seen the choral A Life of Brian?
No.
Okay, let me.
I've heard of it though.
You have heard of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the actual name of this once I find my IMDb here.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Yes, not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. And they have every surviving member of the Pythons makes an appearance with it. At that point, he hadn't begun to suffer from dementia yet. But when they do all that and they have the whole thing about all individuals, they just cut to the side and out comes Terry Gilliam. And he puts on his glasses and he pulls this thing out. I'm not. And then walks off. It really is. This is back when I used to get the DVDs from Netflix. It is quite an interesting thing. It really isn't something you would go and watch like multiple times.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was on Netflix.
It's entirely possible. Right, they have all the Python stuff right now.
All except for and now for something completely different.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but then again, I don't think that. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have not the Messiah, but he's a very naughty boy.
Interesting. All right. Well.
Yeah. Oh, well, their loss.
Yes, but God, just the whole crowd scene stuff with his mother, and that was never 5 minutes. Oh yes, it was. Oh no. And that weird thing too about leave that Welsh talk. He says that to Brian, pulling her away from Judith.
I don't really want to, Mom.
Judith is just kind of a disposable character. She's got a couple of things that she does, but she doesn't do really any of them well.
Yeah, she's kind of. She's kind of the epitome of a side character.
That's about it. That's all she does. She provides motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nudity, full frontal nudity.
Yes, indeed. There's a lot of full frontal in this. I was not expecting to see Graham Chapman's dick.
Yeah. No, that one took me for a bit of a loop there.
Yeah. So, but yes, always look on the bright side of life, which I think actually charted on the UK charts.
Wow. I would not be at all surprised. Let me take a look here. Always look on the bright side of life.
While you're looking that up, I want to point out a couple of things I noticed. It took me a few viewings to notice. I noticed them strapping everyone to the crosses, but do you notice that everyone has nails through their hands? Like they're all actually up on the crosses?
I thought they were all just tied up there.
I thought so too, but if you go back and look at a few scenes, there are nails in their hands. They just never see them being hammered in.
Oh. Well, that probably would have been an effect that they could not have pulled off logistically.
True. It's weird how it looks like when Eric Idle's singing as, the always look on the bright side of life guy. Yeah, they're like really like one is kind of crooked in his hand and
it did chart in the UK singles chart at number 3.
Wow.
This was like 1991 for some reason.
Huh.
In 1980,
still like almost 15 years before Spamalot, which is interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if it had like a re-release or something.
Maybe. But yes, the whole crucifixion scene, there's some great stuff on there. The Umbrella
Crack Suicide Squad.
Yes, the Crack Suicide Squad just kills themselves.
Now show them.
The Umbrella Man.
Oh yeah.
He's like, up you go, big nose, but I'm not Jewish. I'm a Samaritan. We expected to be crucified in a strictly Jewish section. Anybody who doesn't want to be crucified here, raise your hands. I'm Ryan, and so is my wife.
And he's just too busy yelling at Reg, I think.
Know. Huh?
The only reason that Brian didn't actually say, "Oh no, I'm Brian," is at first is because he was too busy yelling at I think it was Reg.
PFJ.
Yeah. PFJ. Because they thought he was a martyr to the cause.
Exactly. Just screaming and yelling at him. So, Eric Idle's annoying man gets released instead.
Which he could have just left earlier.
Yeah, he could have. I mean, all in all, this is still a fun movie. It's still worthy of like the once every 5 years trip down memory lane.
Yeah, John actually has never seen this one. I'm probably going to show it to her on Monday.
Oh goodness, yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yep.
So the weird thing also on Netflix, I don't know if it's just they couldn't clean up the cut, but the cut very much looks like an old 1979 cut of a movie. It's the sound is weird. It's not cleaned up at all.
That's weird.
When you watch it, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, it is a little weird. Now, I don't know if that was just a stylistic choice to not clean it up, but there's just something about it that just feels, I'm not going to say unfinished, but unrefined about it.
I've been looking through, I've been watching some of the old Flying Circus episodes for recently because of a certain episode that we just did.
True.
And
I'm down on the shout out, so.
And though a few of those ones are kind of, you can still see some like scratches in the film. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is that like Life of Brian, the release rights of Life of Brian have jumped around so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I even think that like my copy of it might be an Anchor Bay copy, like my DVD.
Wow.
So
yeah, I know I've got it on DVD somewhere. I'm not sure which version I've got.
I got one from I think Autumn gave it to me when we first started dating. That was almost 20 years ago. So, well, that was the Life of Brian. Any other thoughts you have, Mike?
We talked about the ending. The music is like, just the score.
It's interesting that it actually has like an actual score instead of like 3 pieces of music that kept getting recycled throughout, like Holy Grail. Yeah,
well, I mean, this movie couldn't have been made without George Harrison.
That's true. Now, Handmade Films, George Harrison's, his working title was George Harrison's company. Yeah, George Harrison had a great relationship with Monty Python, which is great, and it resulted in a lot of stuff. This Time Bandits.
Oh yeah,
is one of their movies. Yeah, so quite a bit.
So the Beatles not only gave us great music for some people. I'm not a big fan myself, but
okay.
But hey. They knew quality when they saw it, except for John, because he saw Yoko.
So George Harrison is mine and Joe's favorite Beatles. So there, end of discussion. So anyway, that was again the Life of Brian. What are your thoughts on this movie? Did you like it? And didn't like it? Where does it rank in the 3 big Python movies? The only one we're not reviewing is Meaning of Life, which I'm sure we'll hop on at some point. Leave a civil comment below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe also to get notified for all of the videos that we do here. Once a week, Mike and I do our retro movie reviews. And the podcast that Mike and I host, Geek Salad, also shows up on here. Speaking of which, Mike, tell them what they win this week.
You win our 50th anniversary episode on the Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yes. You went through great pains, by the way, to edit this thing, and I cannot understate how much I appreciate you doing this one for us.
Yeah, this one was tough
You know I'm
because
going to end up doing the next one, so
you would be shocked how few of the actual flying circus clips are on YouTube.
yeah, I was shocked by that when I was when I was looking for them. But yes, thank you. So yes, definitely you can check the podcast out here at YouTube. You can also check it out at Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Music, as well as on our website where you can get their entire archive,
.com.
You can also look at Geek Salad Podcast and on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio. So definitely, if you've just discovered this show, you want to know more about us, hit us up on the socials. We're always happy to have you.
Yes.
Yes. So anyway, until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
And I'm also Brian. Go forth.
I'm Brian, and stay with my wife.
Go forth, happy nerdful. Talk to you later.